Of course, a lot of these animals only come out at night. Spotting them called for a bit of high-tech technology, something Dominic and Andy had come prepared for.
What are you looking at?
Just set up an infrared motion-activated camera last night to see what kind of wildlife we'd capture.
Right.
Seems like something's being filmed, so we're just checking out the tape.
Yep, nice idea. Plenty of different species coming into camp all the time. You'd be interested to see what you get. Yeah, probably best if you tell me if you're going to set a camera up like this, just to, when nature calls. I mean, both of you wouldn't want to be, because, that's not a base. But if you want to go anywhere, go there. But
Of course, there's only so much you can see through a night vision camera. Aussie Adventures. Aussie Adventures. Time to hit the road.
Oh, it's a crested kingfisher.
Wow.
Do you think there might be chicks in there?
well, there's one way to find out.
In the old days, we might have dragged out a rope and harness. But technology has made this sort of caper a lot easier. With Andy's computer hooked up to my drone, the perfect close-up was just a push of the button away.
OK, let's get airborne.
Operating a drone calls for a fair bit of skill, especially when flying through thick jungle canopy. But thanks to my piloting prowess, I soon had a clear view of that precious nest. Just gotta cruise on in for a close-up.
Not too close, not too close, not too close.
It's all right, I'm in control.
Not too close, not too close.
And bingo.
I can see cheeks. One, two,
Smile for the birdie.
two. Oh, not too close. Not too close.
It was a good feeling knowing my efforts would be advancing important research into this rare endangered species.
Drone's fine. Yeah. Bird's gone, I think. But she's fine. A couple of blood marks there.
Time to set sail on the SS Coight. The rivers and creeks of the Daintree provide a fascinating glimpse into the heart of the rainforest. Andy was keen to get some close-ups, and I was happy to oblige. Just a question of getting the telephoto lens out and the anchor overboard. For all its photo opportunities, I had to keep reminding these two that this is also a dangerous part of the world. I'm heading east to help out a mate on a nearby farm. After years of driving in the bush, you learn a trick or two. How to handle tough terrain, how to stop yourself from getting lost, and how to cope with the odd equipment failure. One for the millennials.
OK, my phone has run out of power. Now, I could use the car charger, or in a survival situation, I could use the electric fence. I've adapted this phone cable here, so I'll just place that in the bottom. Then I've got the two wires here. I connect this one to the earth, and the red one I connect to the electric fence. Just going to power it on now. Just waiting for it to fire up.
But forget the phone for now. This is harvest time, with hundreds of hectares of paddock waiting to be cut, sorted and stacked. It's a big job, but luckily these days we've got technology on our side.
Believe it or not, I'm driving that tractor from this app in here. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to make it stop.
They don't call us the smart country for nothing.
How good is that? I'll make it start again. Absolutely incredible. Here, satellite, down to the tractor. I'm going to make it swing around now. A little steering wheel here, little accelerator, little brake. OK, now I'm going to bring it back to me.
Yep, in the right hands, technology is pretty amazing stuff.
And stop. Incredible, isn't it? With this app and that tractor right there, I can take all those hay bales and put them into a truck. Ooh, shit. I've dropped the phone! I've dropped the phone! Push stop on the phone! I can't get off! Oh no! The hay bale! The hay bale! Shit! Oh no!
With that job taken care of,
Remote control went off.
it was time to get stuck into another one. Anchors away on the mighty Murray River, home to a pretty rare species of fish known as trout cod. Some scientist mates of mine wanted me to help collect a few for research purposes. Trouble is, there's only one or two isolated schools of these critically endangered critters along this entire stretch of river. It took a bit of hunting, but with the help of the sonar, I managed to track some down.
Okay, I've just spotted on the sonar some trout cod. I've switched off the main motor. I'm going to go to the electric motor for two reasons. It gives me more manoeuvrability, and two, it protects this fragile river environment. Okay, here we go.
Now it was just a question of carefully harvesting a few select samples. It's delicate work, but I was the perfect man for the mission. Any chance to help with preserving our precious biodiversity, and I'll be putting my hand up.
Yeah, the blades of, yeah, they're dead.
Overhead, a lonesome eagle soars, scanning the desert plains for food. Meanwhile, down at ground level, I'm up early to start the day. And what better way to do that than with a decent feed?
Just because you're in camp doesn't mean you can't eat. Well, I'm making one of my favourite breakfasts, a healthy smoothie. I've got some yogurt, I've got some bananas, just putting some nice blueberries in there. I know what you're thinking, though. How am I going to get power to the Vitamiser? That's a good question. Well, that's where one of these comes in very handy. It's an inverter. I just connect it up to a car battery, positive and negative. Put my milk in, put the lid on, and we're headed to Smoothie Town. Hang on. What's wrong? Positive, positive, that's the... Oh, I wonder what's happened. One of the frozen blueberries has got caught underneath the...
They say breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
Don't drink that.
This part of the world is truly inhospitable. Only there aren't too many hospitals out this way, which is why you've got to know what you're doing. One mistake in the Outback can be lethal, if not deadly. Luckily, there are a few survival tricks, tips I like to share on my regular TV appearances.
Now, if you're in the Outback and you haven't got any matches, what do?
I don't know.
Oh, well, here's the answer. I always carry a set of these. It's a fire steel, and you can create a spark. You get a little bit of tinder, create a spark, and you've got yourself a fire. They can be a bit hard to get the spark going sometimes.
Yep, it doesn't take much to stay safe in the bush if you know what you're doing.
We might take a short break and we'll be right back after this.
But no amount of fancy equipment can prepare you for the unexpected. Time for a quick detour.
I tell you what, it doesn't take long for word to get around that Russell Coight is in town. A couple of hours ago, I received this photograph. It's of a brush-tailed possum that someone's got caught in their laundry. And as you can see, it's a big one. A very big one. So, it looks like it's Coight for the recipe.
Swag, let's go! All Aussie adventures. All Aussie adventures. Time to hit the road.